Hey everybody, it's Hubby here with Just About Anything Garage, and we're bringing you another exciting behind the scenes episode where we talk about things that you need to consider when you do a YouTube channel or when you're doing projects in general today. And today we're going to go over a subject that we've talked about before, and then we're going to show you how we're going to accommodate it, and that's tool choices, right? And one of the tool choices we made early, of course, was to get a lift in here. And I love my lift. The lift has been perfect. It's done a lot of things. But what I discovered is I got the 2-post lift was that it works for about 60 to 80% of the cars that I have. Some of the bigger cars that I have, it does not work for, because not that it can't lift it. Like we have, let's see, we got Laverne, who's the 64 pickup that we're doing, who doesn't really fit on the lift, but I can lift it if I'm cautious with that. We've got Stella, which is the 61 Chrysler Imperial. And it knows, the lift knows it's got that because she's heavy. She's heavy, but she's pretty stable. The one it really doesn't like, though, is our Suburban, our daily driver, 2017. Because you have to really balance that or it gets rocky on the thing. And with one episode of that, trying to change oil with it up, we decided we needed to do something different. And what did we do different? Well, we decided to get ourselves a 4-post lift. And again, we got another Titan from Eastwood. And the reason we did that was that I can use a firm, which if you need to buy tools, you need to do something, use a firm. It is a great way to go ahead and get the stuff you need, because as you increase your buying power, you get to the point where you need minimum cash down payments, or they'll cover the initial purchase altogether. So I've done many of the big shop tools based on a firm. All right, so what we're going to do with this episode is we're going to go through. We're going to get this set up. We're going to see how it works for everything that we need to have. We'll talk about the specifics of what this lift is, the one that I bought, why we bought it. We also need to pick the general shop up because, I mean, it's going in the third bay here that we have. But we got stuff, you know, that are kind of everywhere. And the shop is in complete disarray. I got stuff stacked everywhere. And you can hardly walk around. So we're going to go through and we're going to do a major cleanup on the shop. We may have to do some rearranging of stuff to go ahead and make it so that the lift comfortably sits in here. I've got the top way off so that I can get in here and make sure that I have all the parts, because everything's stuck into the center. They ship it nice the way that they do it. Makes it real easy. Just went to a shipping center where it came in, went and picked it up. They popped it on the car hauler trailer for me. I brought it in. I used my shop crane here. We lifted it off the trailer, pulled the trailer out, and we're up and running. All right, so you hang tight. We're going to go through and we'll talk about the different things that you need to think about for doing your channel, for doing your projects, and hopefully it'll help you out a little bit. All right, so stay tuned and we'll be right back. All right, so let's talk about the lift itself. Okay, we had to make some compromises in our choice. The Titan had a bigger one. They had a 12,000 pound one with a longer runway on it that we could have gotten, but it didn't have a lot of the accessories. So I like the accessories that this came with, so we went with this one. It is a Titan SDPL 8K MS system. It's one of their best ones that they have. It's a 4-post lift, as you can see right here with it. It has it comes with drip trays, it comes with a tool tray, it comes with the caster, so you can lift it and you can move it about, which is one of the main features I wanted to have with that. Okay, it has a maximum width of about 103/8 inches wide for getting a vehicle in. It has a runway length of 160 inches max, and it's got a lift height of the minimum lift is 5 5/16 to a maximum of 76 3/4 inches lift with it. They package it really well. They make these 2 frames right here. They bolt the post to it. One side rail is on the bottom, one side rail was on the top. So I pulled the top one off. We got the caster sitting in here like this. This is what I'm touching here and sitting into it is the one of the rampways with that. Covers that cover different things. They give you anchors. We're not going to use the anchors, so we'll just kind of keep them as a little bonus if you want to have it mobile. And then every other part you need, it's got your bolts, it's got your cable, it's got all kinds of gusseting type supports that need to go on like that. It's got the ramps, which are here. This is an aluminum ramp, this is an aluminum ramp, this is the drip tray with that, and it's got the tool trays and stuff, and it's all packaged within the center of the power unit. It's packaged separately, and it's put on top when it comes. It's right here. Pull that in. Hydraulic oil. Ooh, that we're going to need to do that. It's sitting right there. It runs on 110 volts. It's, let's see, what is its maximum length? Its maximum length is 211 7/16 inches. I don't know if you can see that. That's what, with the ramps out, that'll go in. The maximum width is 109 13/16. So those are dimensions for fitting it in the bay. And we shouldn't have any problem with that, fitting it in the bay with that. It's all coated, it's all painted, powder coated. And I like the Titan line. I know that wildfire lifts are probably the one that everybody's getting on YouTube, but this was shipped to me, what, $4,800, something like that. I was able to use a firm because Eastwood takes a firm. It's a really good way to get tools. I didn't have to put any money down. I've got a 2-year payoff plan on it. So, you know, $230 a month for 2 years, and boom, it's all paid for. Now I can pay it early if I want with no penalty with it. So it's a good lift. It's good and solid. I really like my Titan 2 posts that I have right here. It's well built. It's easy to maintain. It operates well. Yeah, I do regular maintenance on my stuff to make sure everything's kosher, but it hasn't failed me yet. Like I said, the reason that we got it was to handle the larger vehicles, because if you don't balance them well, they get tippy, and that's when accidents happen and people get hurt. So we use the 4-post lift to handle some of the larger stuff, and when it's not being used like that, we'll park the vets and the different things on it to keep them covered and out of the way. Okay, so that's the lift itself. We've got to do some cleanup and some reorganization, so we'll give you a montage of what we're doing there in order to fit it in with this behind the scenes. I have my refrigerator. That's probably going to go because I like having the freezer portion of it because it allows you to put parts in and cool parts and stuff, and of course if you want sodas and snacks. But I haven't used it a lot in here, and I want to put, like we did over in this bay, behind all this other crap. Let me walk in here and I'll show you. You've seen it before. We have a winch with a receiver on the floor right down there to winch things into the bay. We're going to do the same thing. I've got another receiver that I'm going to take and put in over here so we can move the winch around. And if we need to pull in from the center bay into this lift, we can do it. If we need to pull into this bay, we'll go ahead and do that. This one we're going to leave pretty much all open, and we're going to reorient it so that we have some more space. So I'll do a lot of the boats over there because the boats don't need to be lifted nearly as much as the cars do. And then I've got to reorganize because, see, I got stuff out everywhere when I do welding. I've got it, and when I do other stuff, I got engines and transmissions and all kinds of equipments and things here that have just made it, you know, you have to navigate your way through the shop in order to get anywhere. So we're going to stop and we're going to re-pick up. This space is wasted. It's got, you know, stuff thrown in the corner that we haven't used. So a lot of it's going to go. Stuff that I haven't used in the last 2 years, 3 years that we've been doing this. I'm going to go through, and it's going to get permanent storage. We'll get some storage that we may put outside in enclosed spaces to cover it so we free up space. We currently have, of course, the racks here that we're using to pile stuff. We're contemplating pulling the racks down and putting stuff on the wall. So if we don't need the space, we'll, you know, maybe let it flip. We'll see what happens there. But, you know, I got all these other containers where we've changed oil and we've kept them. We're going to get rid of that crap, get everything cleaned up. Got the, the spare tire holder for Ghost in here. It's going to go upstairs and get stored up there for now because Ghost is our test platform. Nothing's changed there. We're going to use her to test some concepts and some things without getting ready to do Ripley here for that. So we're going to go through and we'll show you a montage of getting this place ready to go to take the lift, and then we'll show you putting the lift together to get it in there. What we may do first is clean up this bay so I can do it, stop, get that up so I can get things rearranged and out of the way, and then go ahead and clean the rest of the shop so we have a little bit more space to move things in and out of as we're going ahead and we're doing that. All right, so that's where we are, and we'll come back with you on the next one, which will probably be just doing a little bit of a rearranging so that we can make sure that it'll fit in here nice and well, get some stuff out of the way in this bay area, and then we'll jump into assembling this. And once we have that together, we'll wrap it up with a montage of cleaning up the shop and getting it together. But again, this behind the scenes is all the stuff that you have to do that you don't generally tape. I put it on so you can see what you need to consider when you're doing when you're going to do a YouTube channel, because you know it takes a lot of effort, and it's not just the projects that you're doing, it's all the side stuff. All right, so hang tight and we'll be back with the more exciting stuff than me just jabbering. All right, so it's March 31st here while we're doing this, right? And we got a great evening here in Agawam. It was like almost 80 here today, so I'll take that for spring weather. And you know, I've told you guys before, gratuitous weather stuff, you know, I'll show it to you. Anyways, we had a nice evening here, and you can hear all the motorcycles and the cars. Like, you know, I got Ghost is set up over here underneath her cover. That'll be coming off shortly. We'll be driving her around. But anyways, I just thought I'd give you some gratuitous weather, since how it's so nice. It's in the evening. It's like, what, 7 o'clock? Yeah, on March 31st. And we're doing more here on this lift to get it ready. And what we did here is rearranging the back a little bit. Like I told you we're going to do. We pushed the fridge over. I want the fridge because even though it's empty now, no beer or nothing in it, it's going to get stocked for the winter. And I like having the freezer, like I said, so if I have to shrink parts and that type of stuff, that'll be good. So what we did is we just pulled out this guy right here. We'll find a new home. He's the compressor I had on this side of the shop. Didn't use it a lot because I got a big hose on that. So we'll find a little home for him. And opened it up, and we put the hitch right here, right where it needs to be. It's centered right in the aisle, right down the center here. So it'll work out good. We'll be able to pull the winch from there, put it on over to here. We just push this over and move the stuff that was hanging here up on top. And we'll go ahead and clean it up a little bit more, rearrange. But there we go. We've got one thing done here. We've got that hitch in there so that we can pull things in and up onto the 4-post if we need to do that. And next thing we're going to do is find some homes for some stuff and get down here and clear this out. Bandsaw, sander. Going to find new homes. They may go upstairs. That'll be fun. But we can get them up there. Then we're going to get all this area cleaned out like I said we did. We decided what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hang the big heater here. What did I knock over? A jack. This big heater is what we're going to use because this little electric one just don't cut it. It's okay for spring and fall when you want to just take the shell off of something, but it don't do it. So we're going to take this and we're just going to go ahead and we're going to hang it right in. We'll cut this side out. We'll take that off. We'll cut that support board out. Leave that side support in because that's got the electrical box for that. And this will need electrical anyways. And then we'll just put it up there with some electricians. Electricians 2x4s, you know what those are, the metal rails with the holes in them, and we'll hang it and get that out of the way. And then now we just got to do a better organization over here, clean this out, the crap that we're not using, and just generally get the shop cleaned up and a little bit better organized. We'll put these lights up. They're going to go up, one on this side of this bar, one on the other side of the other post for that, and they'll run to that light outlet. That's not an outlet for the light though, but we'll intercept the light so it'll be on a switch, and then we'll put that one that's currently plugged onto that fluorescent switch, and we'll put that one onto that fluorescent switch, so I can just go click 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 instead of using an extension cord. We'll get it all done. Take the time, we'll get it all done now, get this all cleaned up. We're going to get this area, like I said, squared away first, and we'll get this up so we got, you know, miscellaneous stuff out of the way. Most of the stuff over here can stay, it won't be in the way. Some of the stuff that does protrude out, like this box, we'll probably find a new home because it comes out a little bit more. But the drill press, is fine where it is. The grinder is fine where it is. This cabinet, which has materials in it, shouldn't interfere. The press shouldn't interfere. Brake lathe is going to be fine. We have to do something over here. This won't protrude out too much. It may make it a little tough to walk up and down, but it'll be on wheels so we can move it around as we need to do that. But we're going to get everything straightened up. We'll get this built and into the spot here, and then we'll go ahead and clean up the rest of the shop. All right, so step one's done. We got that all set in. Step two is now let's get all this bay a little bit more organized so we can get this up. And we'll get this up and operating, and then we'll hit the rest of the shop and get it cleaned up. All right, we'll be back. All right, let's update what we've done. Shows we got the receiver over here. It'll fit, and we can do that. We moved our grinder, which was sitting over here where the compressor is. I want to try and keep air on this side, so we're going to keep the compressor over here because we got a plug. And it'll be out of the way of the lift, so it won't be an issue. And we'll still have air on this side. Now we'll use the main compressor. We're gonna, as part of the shop upgrades, we're gonna put in, you know, the fixed hardline stuff and run it. So that'll just be for backup or spontaneous type stuff or running tools or something like that. We move the grinder over here. We move the jack underneath it because when we go to use the winch on this side, we'll just move this stuff out of the way. It's not a big deal, and plug that in there. This won't permanently be here. We'll move it around. It's just out of the way now. What we've got is this area cleared so we can assemble the lift. We want to get the lift assembled, broke down and assembled. So once it's up, it'll be on casters. We can move it around and do different things. I've already pulled out ramps. This is the drip tray right there. We've got bunches of hardware, which is going to take 2 hands to lift out. Those are the locks that are going to go on the piece. We've got our bolt case and our hydraulic hose, which we will take and place over here out of the way with it. They got anchors in case you wanted to anchor the lift. We're not going to anchor the lift, so these will just be spare. Nice big mothers too. So I'm going to go ahead and put these over here. We obviously have to do the rest of the shop, but we'll do that once we get the lift up. Other pieces here, which are going to take 2 hands. This looks like the tool tray is all packaged together, yeah. This is a cover, and then we've got the casters assembly, and then the bottom piece. So let me go ahead and get that all out of there because it'll take 2 hands. You don't have to be bored by watching me pull stuff out of this. We'll show you everything lined up and all ready to go. So give me just a minute and we'll be right back. All right, so obviously everything is unpackaged and off of the shipping container. We got this up on the jack so that we can move it around conveniently. We got the two of the posts and the cross member in. It's pretty easy. Just lay them down and you slide them in. I'm going to show you here in a minute on the other end. Like that, you put it up. Then we just come down here, do the same thing here. Slide them in. Then we'll set it up and we'll shimmy this end in towards us up this way. It's not going to be that far. So you notice where the ramps are and where that is. So what we're going to do is get it basically all together, and then we'll put the casters on it and move it around and position it exactly where we want to have it in the bay. That way we can have the crane out and everything. Get it out of the way. Just thinking about the crane. We're going to have to lift it and go over the ramps when we do it. Otherwise, no, it's above. If I can fit, no, I can't fit between the rails of it. It's too far, so we'll have to go up over the ramps when we do it. With it all the way down, just, you know, one side bump, and pull it out of there once we've got it up. And store it somewhere. Like I said, we're crowded. Once we have this up and we're going, though, we'll be able to do a little bit better job organizing. But all the other parts, of course, are sitting here. So let me put you guys on the stand. We'll go ahead and we'll slip that bottom bar in. The pulleys go to the inside if you're doing one of these and you get it tightened. so that the cables can come around to lift it. The outside, of course, so you can get to the locking mechanisms and the cable adjusters and all that type of stuff. So let's go ahead and get you guys set up here like this. Put you down. See what we're doing. It's not hard. Just get aligned and in like that, and slide right in. I'll take you guys off, go ahead and get my help out here, and we'll flip it up, but they're camera shy, so I'll come back to you and show you. Sit tight, we'll be right back. So just like we did on that one over there, we lifted it up, put on sawhorses. We're going to do that here. Get them up. They can't rest on the bars because you got to put the latches in, and then you got to raise the bars to get everything set, and then place these on once it's up, like 2 or 3 locks or 3 or 4 locks. So we'll use our good old Gantry crane. Crank this sucker up in the air. Get on some sawhorses, and then we can go and put the lock structure in on the post, which is the next step after you get the platform bars, crossbars in. Crank it for 8 years. All right, let's see if we're hanging. These are, nope, these are taller. These are my tall set. Thought I had another one of the plastic kind, but I didn't. All right, keep going. Take it all the way up, I guess, huh? Get your arm store, you guessing? Yep. Okay, that's about it. Which will just about do. And they're not positioned in the correct spot yet. We'll have to shimmy them over when it's time to do that. But right now, let's just get them up out of the way. All right, straighten yourself up there, Bubba. This one you can manipulate. It's not as heavy as the other one. The other one's got the hydraulics in it. All that good jive. There we go. Keep it square. Move this way. This one is close to being lined up to where it needs to be like that. Let it down the rest of the way. Okay. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so we got those up out of the way. Now we can work on this stuff down here. I'm gonna put it in, secure it at the top plate. Got 4 of them to do. To hook into the mechanism down here. So we'll be doing that. I'm gonna do one first off camera, make sure I know what I'm doing. And then we'll show you the others. At least one of the others. You need, I mean, they're all the same, so once you do one, you know. Anyways, but we're getting there. And then again, once we get it all together, we'll put the casters on it and we'll position it exactly where we want it in the bay. A little bit more down. Not too much more down. I want to keep it out of the headspace of this. So actually, other than maybe some side to side, that's close to where it's going to be. Square it up a little bit. I got to make sure everything's square when we do this. So, and we'll have a 4-poster. All right, we'll be back with more in just a minute. All right, so we've got the safety latches in. And the way you do this is you're going to drop this in, right? And you got to make sure there's a slot down here, right in there that you go. That your temptation is to go behind it, but if you do that, you'll be behind the securing mechanism. And there's 2 little bolts, cap-head screws that you put in there to secure the bottom. Let it slide down, right? And you up to the top, put that on, keep them all loose until you got everything set. Once you've got the 2 in on each side, non-tightened but loose, you pull up and get it to the first set. Oh, I can't do it with one hand. It's just heavy enough. I'll show you those. Of locks. on the first set of locks. And it'll lock in, right? And then you can attach those bolts, make sure everything, you know, lines up. You want to make sure that it's flush. They want you to make sure that it's at the same height for the locks. So what I did is I put it on the locks like this. I measured to the base plate, 13 and about, you know, a little over. Looks pretty good. 13 and over, it looks pretty good. So we got it to the same height. Now we'll do the same thing to the other set up there. And then there's a big pole that connects to this and then goes all the way up, connects to that. So when you release the lock, you got locks on both ends. They give you one handle, so you're going to do it from one spot, I believe. So it connects onto there. Back here, so you pick where you want your lock release. I'll put the handle, of course, up here by the control, because I mounted the control up here. So this will go in here like this, and when it's up, you'll release your locks and let it come down. So that's all there is to it. Now we get the main part together using these bolts and washers. We'll do these caps next with these two locking rods on these two. Once we do that, we'll start to drop this on, and we'll start to attach this big old heavy ass one onto the crossbars, and then onto the crossbars. That'll square everything up, tighten everything up, and then go in here and start hooking things up. It's got to run around. The pole comes up. Let me show you on the other end. Cables come up around the pulleys right here. Right, this is what's lifting it. They secure into here. So you set your tension on your pulleys. The hydraulic moves the pulley cables and it lifts all four simultaneously. All right, so we'll be right back with the next two. All right, so you've seen the results of putting the locking mechanism in. I'm going to go ahead and do it for you. Here I got it all prepped. I got the plate ready. All the bolts are ready here. Here's the plate. This is not hard to do. Basically, you're just going to, I prepped it, right? You want to put that bolt down low enough so that when you put the cap on it, it will come all the way down. Down here, if you look, there's a plate at the very back of the assembly there. You want to go in between that little bar and that plate. So what we're going to do is you just take this, drop it in here like this, get it straight, let it fall to the bottom. It's in there at the top. Move it over so it won't crash, like that. Get up on your ladder, like I'm about to do. Okay. We're gonna pop this on like this. Line it up in here, and oops, we got to go down farther on that. See, we didn't adjust it all the way down. So let me put you on the stand for a real quick second. We'll grab the get it out of the view here. Grab a adjustable. They're all metric and they're all bigger. They're not like, I mean, most sets stop at like what, 19? These are 22 and bigger. So what you need to do, so let's go ahead and it's just, you know, the threads get bunged in shipping, so you want to just get on this, get it to seal down all the way. There we go. We went past that bung. We can do it by hand. Nope. It's gonna play hard to get. Now let's go ahead and I can't get this puppy to wind down here. There we go. That's that bung. All the other ones on the other side just wound down. These must have got bunged up and shipping a bit. You really want to just wind it to the bottom. Got just enough bungs that it won't turn. There we go. Bring it all the way down. Now, grab the plate. Put it up in place. Drop it in. Get your bolts. Go ahead and get them started. You're not going to tighten anything all the way up. Get everything in so that the plate won't move, because once we get the other one initially started, we're going to want to lift the platform bar so we can get to the bottom screws. Of course, we'll drop that one and pick it up in a minute. Of course, none of them like the screwing because they come out of virgin holes. So you got to get them all lined up. There we go, that one. Put one in on the other side. And level it off. Come on. Here, there we go. We got it started. Try this one again. See if she'll go on us. There we go. Grab the one we dropped. Oh, pieces. Flat washer, lock washer. Line this in here. This is a blind line, so make sure we're lined up. There we go. This helps it in there a little bit. Obviously, this is obviously on a machine. Okay, that finally dropped into the slot. There we go. It should seat it all the way down, just like that. Pull these in a little bit. And yeah, you could use a impact driver or a steam wrench, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. I've done it all by hand, so I don't cross thread or anything. And I don't have large enough metric sockets. So, you know, the standard is usually ends at about what, 19? Something like that. And these are 22 and 24 or something like that for the big ones. These are 18s that I'm cranking on now. So you do have some smaller ones you can do that way. Anyway. You see them wiggling, but everything will firm up once the runway's on. Okay. Now, just need to make sure that's down. I'm going to reel this back up. just makes contact with the plate, so it can't lift when you lift the bar, because you want to put the platform bar on the first lock so you can get underneath and get to the screws. Okay, so that one's set. Show you down here. Easy now. Hopefully everything's lined up good. Lift it till we hit the first locks. Bingo. Now we have access to the bottom. I'll show you. Right there. To go ahead and get those screws in. You don't need to see me put the screws in. I mean, really, they're just screws. So, that's where we're at. We'll be back with that together and we'll move on to the next step. All right, runways are on. Posts are up. Locks are in. The connecting bar is in underneath for the locks. But I have an error that I must correct. And it's a stupid one, because if I thought for 2 seconds, I would have avoided it. I don't think you guys can tell by looking at it, because you can't. But I'll point it out. If you notice on this side, there's a lip here. If you notice on this side, there is no lip there. It's over here. That's where the tool and drip tray goes. So, this runway needs to be unbolted. It's only 8 bolts, but then we're going to have to take it and flip it end for end. So what we're going to do is we'll unbolt it. I'll put my 3-ton floor jack underneath the middle of it. We'll jack it up. We'll slide it down. We'll get it off. We'll turn it around. We'll slide it back up. Put it in. Rebolt it and fix that issue. So, but we're close. And then the only other thing that needs to be done is the cables need to be run. That's the last part. The power head, which is in this box over here, needs to be mounted. The hydraulic cable connected to it, fluid, and then power. It's 110, so I'm gonna probably, I have a lot of capacity in my box over here. So when I got this, I had a little small 60 amp. I hadn't come in and put a 240 big sucker service in. So I'll take one of those and run a dedicated outlet, 30 amp outlet for the for this lift. But that's where we're at. Almost there. All right, I'll show you how I fix my screw up when we get there. So hang tight. We'll be back. Right, so I'm clipping it end for end. All I did was just stick my jack in the middle. I was going to use my little blue carts, but I was looking at it. It would fit diagonally. So all I did was just took it and spun it around, dragged it across the top, and we're resting on that end. We're down here. So all we got to do is just push it a little bit forward and a little bit more over. Bolt it back up, and we fixed our screw up. Yay! Wasn't that hard. But they are Chinese instructions that are converted to English, and they don't really tell you, hey, pay attention to where the lips are. In fact, they don't tell you much anything. The main runway, the power runway, is easy because it needs to be up towards the end where the power supply is mounted. So you can see that one when you're looking at it and getting everything hooked up. So hard to screw that one up. But the other one, if you're not paying attention, yep, just like me. All right, let's see if we can maneuver this sucker in place. Whoop. Let's get up here. Jack it up a little more. Just to give us a little less tension. Now, put more tension down there, I guess. So we'll go this way with it. Up like that. Over. Make it fall off. clamp, rotated end for end. All you got to do is button it in there. So we came back after that quick little out. I had my wife come out and we were discussing some personal things, and I wasn't going to have put you through that, so I trimmed that out. But now all I got to do is just line it up, put the bolt back in, and we're back on course. All right, we'll be back with the cable part next, so hang on tight. All right, so everything's mounted. All the cables are mounted. When you do the cable, they call it number 4. It's the one that's closest to the power unit. They had you in a step put the extension bar for the lock, because there's a hot lock lever here, and there's a bar that runs all the way down underneath and picks up this lock right here, and that's how you release both of these. They have you do that before you route the cables, but what you're going to have to do is you have to remove that bar to get enough space to get the number 4 cable up and in, and then you need to pull the keepers to get them underneath. The rest I'll route it pretty easy. Just pull them down and pull them through. It's all labeled underneath the ramp. Cables 1, 2, 3, and 4. And they give you a drawing, which I will show you right here, of it, of how it routes, so that you can then pick it. The one that's, the way you do it is, this is number 4. It's the one that's closest to right here. And you just go across for 3. Down on this side is 2, and then across from that is 1. So it's pretty easy to lay out. So everything's together. We got that one turned around, so now the lips are right. Hey, so now I can use the tray and the tool trays and the drip trays. The other thing we'll put on once we've got everything working are the casters. The way they work, if you look at it, they've got tubes here that the back pins slide into. They go underneath here, and so when you lower this all the way, it pushes down on this and pushes the casters up and lifts the post off the floor so that you can move it around. And we'll go ahead and we'll do that to get its final position in here. Like I said, you see that they're slacked. The reason that they're slacked is this is at full down and it's up a lock. We don't want to drop it, because it'll slam down. So what we'll do is we'll start to lift it. We'll get it up to the next one, the first higher setting lock right here, and then we'll make our cable adjustments to make sure they're all tight and nothing's slacked out or anything on that. And then we're leaving this open because you have adjustments here if the latch release doesn't release on all 4 at the same time, or if they don't click at the same time. If they go click, click, you can make an adjustment over here on each of them to go ahead. So then we'll put the covers, the final covers on, and we'll be done. I've got to go get hydraulic oil to fill it up, and we'll run a heavy-duty extension cord into an outlet. I'll have to look and see what the electrical requirements are, but I'll bet you it's like 30 amps. And like I said, we'll run a dedicated line for that. I'm not sure how we'll route it just yet. It'll come from the box over here. I don't want to attach a box to this unless I take and put this directly into that and then plug the cable, so I can move the cable out of the way in case we're going to run this totally out of the way. But we'll figure all that out. Initially, it'll just be on a heavy-duty extension cord into an outlet that'll handle it. All right, so that's where we're at. We'll be back with the final stuff. We'll show you it moving. We'll show you the cable adjustments, and then we'll wrap this sucker up when we got that done. All right, so we'll catch you in a little bit. All right, we're hooked up, the motor's filled up. What we need to do now is we need to go ahead and pull the slack out of the cables. And again, the reason why the cables are all slack is that I'm up on the first bottom lift and this was already extended out and it didn't do it. So we're going to slowly here pull it up, make sure all the cables wind up on the pulleys where they're supposed to be, and see what happens. Okay, so we pulled that up, we deslacked these. These are tightened, they're at the minimum settings, but they're tightened such that it engages the nylocks. So let's make sure that we're everywhere we need to be. Okay, this one hasn't fully slacked up yet. Oh, and it's out of its thing. So we need to fix this. I'll cut that section out. So you'll see a little gap in there. But I gotta fix this one because it's hopped out of it's not behind the thing. So we're gonna pull that bolt back and make sure it is. We'll check all of them. That one's good. That one's good. That one's good. Okay, so we got one that we have to fix. So let's grab, I think if I remember, it's a 17 or an 18. And I'll check it on this end so I don't have to go far. If I got the wrong one. Nope, it's the right one. Okay. We'll fix that. All we're gonna do is loosen it. Pull it back. Here, let's do that. Sorry, I'm flinging you guys all the way around here. I'm gonna take off my tripod mount, put you guys on the little stand, which is built into the handle. There you go. And we'll go ahead and fix this. Ow. A little bit more. It comes all the way out. There, looks like it slid back in. There we go. So we're going to pull up on this cable like this, take the slack out of it. Line this up tighter. So it blocks it in. Okay, cool. Let's go back up here. Continue with up action. Everybody looks good. Everybody's in where they're supposed to be. Get it up to the first lock set. Let's make sure that I thought I heard all of them engage. That one's engaged. Then we'll lower it, let it sit on the locks. That one's engaged. Although, no, it looks about the same location. Looks about the same location. That looks about the same location. Okay, now let's lower it. Okay, put you guys down again here so that I can get the funnel out of the way. We're going to go all the way down. This doesn't disengage the locks like on the other lift where you pull them and it will just go down. When you release it, you got to hold it. Okay, that's it all the way down. Now we're going to check cable tensions. Make sure that we're all good. To spec, we'll adjust it. This looks pretty good actually. Sure they're all set the same. Pretty good. And we'll do grease points. Yeah, see, these are all about the same. Okay. And the ramps go right here. You drive it on up. You got the stop boards that we have there, and we'll get the trays in that we want, and all that type of stuff. But that's where we're at right now. So let me go ahead and we're going to go ahead and raise it and put it on the first sets of the upper lifts again. And then what I'll do is I'll come and I'll do the maintenance that's you need to do it. And then we can put these covers here on. And we can wrap this up. So let's go ahead and put it up again. And get it up on one set higher than the bottom locks. Yeah, I was simultaneous for everybody. Because there's an adjustment in here you can make if it's not. Sit on the locks. Sitting on that one. Sitting on that one. Okay, sitting on, let me get over where I can feel it. Sitting on that one. Sitting on that one. Okay, so the locks right are for safety. The hydraulics are what's going to hold it as you put pressure on it, so we don't want to leak down. We'll check for leaks. But let me go and figure out where all the grease points and stuff are. Give you a little show with that, and we'll wrap this one up. I know I said I'll give you a montage of cleaning the shop, but we may do that in another episode of Behind the Scenes, because there's other things we need to consider moving around and getting on and off this lift here to help us with some of that. So we'll be right back with the final segment here, and we'll wrap this up. Okay, there we are, all assembled and dirty for me walking on it, greased and adjusted. The adjustment procedure is pretty easy. You go up to a fixed height, you measure it, make sure all the corners are the same. If they're not the same, you adjust it. I had to make a couple adjustments to get it level, and you put it up on the bottom lock. Let it sit on the bottom like it is. Check it. If it's not level from that, you make adjustments in here. For pulling and pushing, it'll adjust it. But I'm within a 16th on every corner or less, 16th to a 32nd, so we're not going to worry about it. Running and working fine. Got to fill with fluid. I'll top it off once we run some cycles with it. You just grease all the pulleys. You can see on my cables where I've greased the pulleys and they left grease marks, and that'll spread out over time. I put the casters on it, as you can see, and I'll show you how that works. This is a release fob. You have to hold it on this. It's not like the two post lift where I can release the locks and lower it, because you can't, you know, they set it up that way because you can't reach that. But because this is up here on this end with the deep pressure level for the hydraulics, you can do that, and it makes it safer. These are stop plates that come out pretty easily. They just slide in and go over. You have them at the end too, so when you have everything set up, I've got them in place. The car can't roll off. These are drip trays that they give you, 3 of them, that you can put underneath and then clean them and get new ones if you want. This is a heavy duty tool rack we got here. Eventually we'll pick up a bridge jack so we can jack it up on the lift to do that as well. The ramps are down here. Nice aluminum ramps, not too heavy. And we're going to use them. We'll wrap this up after we go through this segment by putting Ghost, the 77 Corvette, on it and let that lift it first. But I wanted to put the casters on it so I could show you guys how the casters work. So we'll go up to the business end here of the lift. I'm going to have to set you guys up on the tripod for this, because it takes 2 hands. So let's grab the tripod. Get you guys set up on this. Tilt you have to lift a little bit more. First thing we're going to do is get it off the locks. Then we're going to go ahead and pull up on the handle. And I'm going to go ahead and let it ride down, get it below the lock edge. Now it'll just slide. We're going to let it go all the way down. And it should lift it. And it is, as it settles. And there it's settled. Now you can move this thing around. You can push it, you can pull it. I don't know if I can do it with myself. It may take more than one person. But it's lifted the posts up such that you can, yeah, see it's moving around. So I can reposition this anywhere I want it. I've got it up this way because we've got the garage door opener. We're going to switch this door like we switched the other door for height and go with a different system, and we can do that. But the casters work. They lift it. You can slide it around. You can move it, put it where you want it. And we'll do that once we're done. Put it where we want it. Right now, we could probably go back a little bit if she'll roll even. Oh, it takes more than one person to roll it. Still pretty heavy. So that's how that works. So let's go ahead and put it up. Resettles. There's the first lock. I'll run it up under the 1 active lock here. Okay, they're all engaged. We'll lower it, let it sit on the locks. Like I said, everything's within 1/16. So we're in pretty good shape for adjustments. And I'll go and I'll pull these. All you have to do is pull the pins. And let's go over to this one. I'll show you because it's not crowded over here. Just pull this pin, pull the rod, roll it out. Stick your pin back in. Put your pin in it. Put them up out of the way. There, just like that. All right, so I'll go set up. We'll get Ghost on her. We'll have it lift Ghost. And make sure everything's hunky-dory, but it should be. And we'll wrap it up on that last segment there and come back to the other stuff. All right, so hang tight. We'll be right back. All right, so Ghost is up on it. Drive right up under the ramp. Plenty of room. I could have probably centered it a little bit better, but I was alone. I recommend doing it with a spotter. He's still there. If you guys have been watching the channel, the full build for Ghost is on there, so you can go back and check that out. He's on there. I got the back things. It just drove straight up. Piece of cake. All right, so let's put her up in the air. See if the lift works. Actually works. Should we don't break anything. Here we go. So watch the garage door opener. Looking good on this. Creaking. First lock. Second lock. They're a little off when they're weighted. Third lock. We'll go up one more. Fourth lock. Okay, we'll go ahead and set it on the locks. Okay, there we go. Up and underneath her. She can go up higher if we're gonna do actually work. We're just testing right now, so we're good. Let's take a look from the back. Oh yeah, piece of cake. Check stability. Oh yeah, it ain't going anywhere. We can go up a little higher. Let's go up another 2 locks. Everything's looking fine. Cables are nice and taut. Just crawls itself right up. Those cables. One more. Set it down on the locks. Piece of cake. Standing right up underneath it. And we'll need to do some work on her too. Just little stuff we didn't get to. But anyways, so behind the scenes, talking about tools. What do you need for tools? What are you going to do? I decided I needed to have the 4-post lift. The 2-post lift works fine. I love it. And it'll lift Ghost. It'll lift Ripley, the new vet. It'll do my daughter's car. It even does Stella over there, the 61 Imperial. Not any problem. I can lift Laverne if I position her, but she's a little, you know, a little rocky. She does not like the Suburban, no. That one tips back and forth, so we'll be putting that one up here when we do oil changes and different work on her. But just having the 4-post lift also allows us to do storage, so in the winter she doesn't have to stay outside. She can come inside. We're going to get Ripley over here underneath it. Actually, I think I might try to get Ripley up on the top and then put Ghost underneath it for current storage. That way I can pull Ghost out when I want to and take her for a drive, but I can get Ripley out of the center bay and we can go ahead and use it. So it's all about choice. Always get the best that you can afford to get based on the level that you're going to use it, right? I'm not going to get a $2,000 engine analyzer because I'm just not going to use it that much. But a $250, $300 one is just fine. Same with a lift. I could have got a wildfire lift, but this Titan, I love the Titan brand. It's done really well for me, and I don't have any problems with it. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up here. I appreciate you guys watching. If you do all that jazz for me, I would appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe. Tell everybody you love it, and send them over so we can grow the channel. I would appreciate give me some likes. It would be great. All right, so we'll get you guys soon. We'll do another exciting episode of Behind the Scenes because we got to clean the shop up. I'll show you that. What we're going to do, because we got a mess. We got a lot of stuff in here. We got other little projects we'll put on behind the scenes that we're going to go ahead and do. But again, we appreciate you guys, and thanks for watching. Hope you have a great, great, great day.